Hi, hello, and how are you, everyone? Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you are doing well, and it's time for our weekly track roundup. You're the best. Love you. You're awesome. On this video, we're going to do what we usually do. Going to talk about the tracks that dropped over the past week or so, whether I loved them, hated them, or felt somewhere in between. They're all linked down below, so you can check them out for yourself, along with our Turntable Lab link. We get kickback from it. Supports the channel if you buy some vinyl, turntable over there, something like that. Check it out. Try it out. Also, our Patreon page is linked down below as usual, where we get some extra bonus monthly content to you. If you sign up for a tier, you get access to our Discord community. Tons of cool stuff, just like that. That's all you got to know. All right, check that out. All right, now listen, I kind of lied in the kickoff to this video because I said that we would be hearing my thoughts on tracks that I loved, hated, and felt somewhere in between. The worst tracks of the week, there are none. No worst tracks this week. Turns out it was a week of tracks where there wasn't anything that I wanted to talk about that I felt so strongly about in a negative sense that it needed to make it into the worst track section. I'm sure there were some bad tracks that dropped this week somewhere at some point, but none of which I heard that really kind of like felt, necessary in terms of like discussion. But we're going to move on to the meh section, the songs that I was not insane about, but were certainly worth pointing out. You might enjoy them more than me. They were worthwhile, at least in some sense. Starting with this new one from Young Fathers. I think this is a pretty cool little motif, a vocal motif from the group to kind of tease toward a new full-length project. It's got some beautiful layering going on, but it's not like super exciting as a song, I suppose. But still looking forward to, the next round from these guys. It's been a while. We also have a new one from Lil Texas, Hardstyle Sex. I think this one's a little blander than I would usually expect from Lil Texas, but still it's a hard driving, hardcore fucking cut. So check it out. Check it out. It's got its merits. All right, we have one over here from Santigold, which I thought was just kind of a little mid, to be honest. I mean, while there was certainly a vibe to it, there was nothing song-wise about it that really stood out to me. Also, kind of the same thing with the new Panda Bear. Kind of cute. A little bit of a Brian Wilson influence coming off of it as well. But I will say, like, the overall lack of progression on the song, I think, was really, kind of killing the appeal of it in the long run. Go On is the title of the track. We also have a new one from Mars Volta over here. This one not kind of bringing the 70s Latin rock jazz fusion that the last teaser that they dropped did. This feels like more of a modern prog affair, and not in a bad way, although I will say I still wasn't really blown away by this new one from them as well. As much as I am wanting to kind of enjoy the new material, Graveyard Love is the title for, just so you know. We also have a new one from Carly Rae Jepsen, who is teaming up on this track with OfMan, whose vocals I don't think are very good on this track, to the point where I think they kind of harsh the vibe a little bit unnecessarily. But Carly is going off, and I like the general kind of glammy, almost disco quality to the beat. I think that's really nice. We also have a new one over here from Koreatown Oddity. Misophonia Love is the title of this track, which is a very odd concept for a love song, but hey, I think he pulls it off pretty interestingly. Does it get a little, I think too into its theme to I guess concentrate on making the music more appealing? I think it does, but it's still kind of a fun idea for a track. We also have Interpol over here, new one from Interpol. While I was not insane about this one, I will say this track does kind of sound like a slightly unnerving and twisted take on the band's usual driving indie rock sound. I think it's the most solid single, the most solid teaser from the forthcoming album so far. So, while it's not blowing me away, I do think it is an improvement. Grand Hotel is the title. We have Gilliband, 8 Fivers. There are portions of this track I find to be a little bit tedious, especially in the first half with the drums and the vocals like being presented in such a stark way. But man, when the noise comes in on this track, it is the most crushing freaking thing I can recall hearing it in the recent past. My God, the sound of this track is immense. Like the noise that comes through, it's devastating. We have a new one from Calvin Harris, Justin Timberlake, Halsey, Pharrell. I think this track has a decent beat. It's got some cute parts, especially the Halsey refrain, but like I feel like there's just too many too many cooks throwing their stuff into this track. You know, it could be pared down, it could be broken down a little bit, made simpler, made more appealing through just like less. Specifically Justin Timberlake. I think Pharrell is way better on the track than Justin. Just leave it to Pharrell and Halsey, and it would be perfect. But Justin's like taking up way too much space and just adding nothing to the track, but whatever. All right, we have a new one from Death Cab for Cutie, which I thought was a pretty bland indie rocker. Frankly, it's just kind of okay. Here to Forever is the title. We have Behemoth over here with a much more rocking single than their last one, but the mix is muddy as hell, and I have no idea why. It's not very flattering, but Off to War is the title. We have Biba Doobie. I'm not going to talk too much about this track over here that I've teased toward, or that I've linked toward down below, but I will say it's pretty good. It's pretty decent. It's got a nice little kind of 90s flair to it, but you know, it's got a cool bedroom pop vibe to it as well that I thought was sweet. The new album is out now, so you know that's why I'm going to kind of leave it here because I do plan on talking about the record, I think. And the best tracks of the week, they are as follows. Let's go. We have this song from a band that goes by the name of Sorry. And this is like quite a cute little, you know, love song that they have going on here. Like I really love the intensity of the lyrics on this track and the messiness of the instrumental. I think they pair really well. But yeah, you know, let the lights on. I think it's a really good track. I think it's a good cut. We have over here a new one from Show Me the Body. The riffs, the ferocity, the performance are fantastic. They're fiery. They're everything. Totally kicks fucking ass. Loose Talk is the title. We have a new one from Porter Robinson over here, teaming up with a League of Legends, I guess, for this beautiful, sparkling little ballad that is quite gorgeous and touching. Everything Goes On is the title, and yeah, it's just absolutely lovely. I'm just sort of head over heels for it. We have also Black Midi over here, new one from them, a link down below. Try it out. It's awesome. It's amazing. Not going to talk too much about it because I do plan on reviewing this record very soon. We also have Maddie Diaz, who is like totally kicking ass. You know, songwriting wise and vocally as well. And, you know, the growing intensity of the instrumental on this track is great too. You know, essentially the song is about kind of separating, breaking up, moving on with your life, so on and so forth. Hangover is the title of it. And yeah, it's just like a really, really fucking devastating song. And I'm just, you know, loving hearing Madi putting together something just is very potent. It's very strong emotionally. We have a new one over here from Latto. Pussy is the title. And, you know, it's not as like salacious as you would kind of assume it to be, given that it's Latto and the song is titled Pussy. Like the song lyrically is like kind of a banger with a, you know, cool old school Southern flair to it. A nice sample on the beat as well. And, you know, she's mostly just kind of rapping about like gender inequities and, you know, toxic gender dynamics. And it's quite good. It's quite good. I actually like it a lot. She's putting a lot of thought into what she's saying on this song and I respect it. We have a new one over here from Ked Mode, kicks ass. It's going to freaking rip your head off your neck and take a shit in it. Essentially, but they respect my tactics. It's just like really great post-hardcore noise rock. It kicks ass. We have over here Kai Whiston and Eden teaming up for a beautiful little electronic cut over here. I'm not usually crazy about Eden's voice, but you know, the collab over here seems to mostly have been like instrumental and then, you know, with a little bit of vocal on the back end. But yeah, it's a cool little progression. I'm liking this one a lot. This one's beautiful. We have Joey Badass, Zipcodes, another great track from the forthcoming record that he's dropping very soon. And yeah, it's just super jazzy, super straightforward, super quality, just like you expect from Joey, because the man is freaking consistent. We have J-Hope of BTS fame over here coming through with like a crazy fucking rap banger that sounds almost a little bit horrorcore in terms of its aesthetics, honestly. Arson is the title of the track, and it kicks total freaking ass, and I'm just absolutely in love with it. We have over here Jessica Hoop treating us to another taste of her forthcoming full-length record. This one has a lot of interesting, very peculiar layered instrumentation, all of it that's very over all of it that's very ornate and you know, quite intriguing. I'm liking it a lot. Moving on from there, we have a new one from the Mountain Goats. This track over here is quite possibly the most rocking Mountain Goats song ever. And, you know, there have certainly been some rockin' Mountain Goat songs in the past, like, you know, on Tallahassee, for example. I mean, there's examples, but, you know, this one over here is like some driving punk riffs and drums that actually go over very well. And, Wage Wars, Get Rich, Die Handsome is the title of the track, and I think it goes over quite well. John Darnielle kills it on this one. We have a new one from FINNEAS over here. I'm loving this beautiful little love song that he's put together over here. The more beautiful than the Mona Lisa, that sort of thing. He hasn't really done a hard rocking track like he has on this one particularly over here before, but it's a style that kind of fits him. I like it. It's a good vibe. He's doing it well. He's doing it well. We have a Dolla over here with Clementine Douglas on vocals, Miracle Maker. My God, what a banger. Just like a really nice dance throwback, like late 80s, early 90s, that type of shit. Like, man, the grooves are incredible. Just totally kick ass. I'm loving these throwback dance and house grooves that are coming through on a lot of these new tracks. They're really quality. They're good. They're good. Also, Aquamarine, great new cut from Dangermouse and Black Thought, where Black Thought is rapping his ass off. And Michael Kiwanuka is on the hook, and he does a fantastic job, too. He's got a beautiful little dusty appearance on the song. That sounds great. That sounds fantastic. We have the Beths with the title track to their forthcoming record, Expert in a Dying Field. It's quaint, it's twee, it's fun, it's lo-fi, it's rockin', it's got some cute melodies to it, and, just like a very creative approach lyrically as well. Let's move on. We have the A's over here. I think this is the last shout out that we're going to do. Their new record is out now. Loving this song On It When I Die, which I think is just very creative kind of song concept in terms of the narrative. But, I really love the close, intimate vocal style that they pull off in a lot of the songs that I've heard from this new record so far. It's quite pretty, quite beautiful. It really kind of lures you in. And, listen to it down below along with everything else that I mentioned because, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this weekly track roundup. Thank you. Hopefully you got some solid recommendations out of this video. I will see you in the next one. You're fantastic. Anthony Fantano, tracks forever.